Welcome to Midnight Movie Talk Live on this Sunday night. You are with Erick Weber live from Los Angeles, my favorite show of the week tonight. Every Sunday night, we break down box office, and when we have something as big as we have to talk about tonight, then it's an exciting night. I'm so excited you guys are here. Let's do it right into it, and let's figure out what happened with Halloween Ends. Opens with 41 and change, 41 million, which is roughly 8 to 9 million under Halloween Kills. So what happened? Let's go to THR. They have a nice little summary of what happened here today. We bounce around, either THR or Variety. They both do a good job of just telling us what happened, but I'm going to break down exactly what happened better than they do. Okay, the movie opened at 41.2. It's lower than the roughly 50 million that Halloween Kills made. Blah, blah, blah. How much, what happened, what's going on. Okay, so let's talk about why this film opened lower than Halloween Kills and certainly much lower than Halloween in 2018. Number one is very obvious. This is a bad film. I don't care how you want to spin it. I don't care how you want to do it. If you say that Halloween Ends is a good film, or even recommend this film in the overall arcing, trying to fit into the Halloween universe, then you don't know what you're doing. Straight up. End of discussion. We're not going to have any gray area here. It's a bad film. That is number one, and that supersedes all. Number two, it's on Peacock. You knew that. No surprise. So was Halloween Kills. So why is it lower? Go back to number one. It's a bad film. It's worse than Halloween Kills, which is almost impossible to do. How are you worse than Halloween Kills? Well, hello, hold my beer, as the saying goes. Here comes Halloween Ends and Corey. Oh, man, we're going to go off on this again tonight. I can feel it. Number three, too many Halloweens bunched together. I mean, you look at this. We have had 4 years with the 3 Halloween films, right? 2018, break 19, 20, 21, 22. So that's a 4-year span. And when you look at it, you can't give people 3 films in 4-ish years and expect them to be excited about it on the end of this thing, especially when the film's bad. Okay, did I mention that it's bad? So you have all these films bunched together, and Universal messed this up. They should have released Halloween Ends next year. You needed another year to space between Kills and Ends. The Peacock thing, no doubt, is a big deal. Okay, I want your comments, but so far, 1, it's bad. 2, it's on Peacock. And 3, too many Halloweens bunched together. These are good. The one that most people are not talking about, and it's very crucial here, Smile. Smile is holding in there at a really good clip. I mean, it's down 33%. This is a film that is at 137 million worldwide. We called it here on MMT. I told you when I saw that film, it was going to be big, 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 big. And look, what has happened? It is huge. I mean, for a film this small, for a film that almost went to streaming, Paramount almost put it on Paramount Plus straight away. And then they had test screenings and said, "Oh, this is good. This is scary. People are going to like this." Yeah, well, I could have told you that too. I didn't even need to see. This is what we're going to do. You're going to show me a film, and I'm going to say, this is going to be big. It's not hard. It's really easy. Once you've seen enough films, you know what works and what doesn't. I don't even care what the genre is. I can tell you what is going to work, what is not going to work with the majority of moviegoers. It's just a skill. You learn it over time. But listen, when you have competition in the marketplace that is similar to what you're trying to sell, so you have Smile sitting here, a film with way better buzz than Halloween Ends. I mean, it's like night and day, right? And you have it still there, available only in theaters, you're going to chip away at whatever comes into the marketplace that's also horror. You go back to Halloween Kills, and I was doing the research on this. You didn't have a horror film within a month of Halloween Kills, and you had Malignant, which was day and date on HBO Max, so, whatever. And then before that, you had whatever the hell was before that. It was at least 2 months before there was something major in the horror space. So that also benefited. So between all 4 of these things, right, this is why the film did not do the numbers that we thought it would do, closer to 50. I had it at 50. It's at 41. It's under. But number one, listen, guys, the number one reason Halloween Ends is not performing like everybody thought it would is that on your screen right there. It's a bad film. There is no other way to spin this. And I'm tired of reading tweets of people defending this film. Stop. Stop. You're embarrassing yourself. You really are. You are making yourself less reliable by recommending Halloween Ends. You literally have now taken 20 steps back because I'm never going to trust you again if you tell me that Halloween Ends is good. I'm not going to mention somebody that is here in LA that is a critic that I talk to. I generally value their opinions. I don't know, whatever. That doesn't even matter. When I read that Halloween Ends is good, I go, okay, that's it. It's over. We're done. I can't take you seriously. It's the reality of it, okay? And by the way, why am I so obsessed with Halloween Ends? This is good. By the way, I want to give a huge shout out here tonight to my Twitter person. Let's see who it was here. I got to look it up. That's the wrong tweet. Give me a second. I thought I had the right one going here. Let me find it. All right, here it is. This is user ACW. And this made me laugh. This person made a collage of all my tweets about Halloween Ends and how I just keep kicking a corpse at this point, right? I mean, this thing is been dragged, it has been kicked, it has been burned. Look at all this. I mean, I'm going to own up to it. Of course I'm going to. I sent these tweets because let me tell you why I do this, because I can't let it go. And I'm going to make it really easy to understand. We do a lot of subjectivity in other movies. Of course, you can like one and not like another, and we can both be right. But there are exceptions that there's no gray area, right? There is no universe in which Halloween Ends is a good, great, anything in that range when it comes to the Halloween franchise. And blame it on Corey. I mean, really blame it on David Gordon Green. Hello. But Corey. It's all Corey's effing fault. Absolutely it is. I mean, he is the Gordy of Halloween Ends. But Gordy worked better. And Gordy, I'm sorry, doesn't really work in this. I don't care what you tell me. It's just, no. It's not as bad as Corey. Okay, Gordy is better than Corey. Give me a like if you agree with that. You hit me in the comments and tell me I'm right about it. That's one thing I know. So Corey ruins it all. And then I thought about this today and I said, why do people think that Corey's good? Like, why do you think that that's a good choice? And it's not so much that introducing a new character and having him play a role in this film is bad. It's the way they use Corey, okay? So I love the opening of Halloween Ends. If I haven't said that, I need to get on record again as saying that. And I know I have, but for those of you who missed it, the beginning of Halloween Ends from... And I love stuff like this when they start bringing in the song on the Universal logo, right? And then we get Miramax, and then we get Blumhouse. I love Universal does this better than anybody. They bleed the song right through the title cards, and then you get into the film. I know that's a little thing, but trust me when I say this, these are the things that really get you in the mood for a movie. And then you have that opening scene, right? Where Corey... The one time Corey's interesting is when he's babysitting the little brat, okay? And we know what happens if you haven't seen the movie. Okay, kid goes splat. So Corey, now tell me if this is more interesting. And right now, hit me with a comment or right now, get ready to get your likes ready because here it comes. Which is better? Corey, kid goes splat. And then Corey does his thing, and then he has to fit into society, and he weeps and moans and bemoans his life and turns into a possessed version of Mike. Okay, that's horrible and completely unforgivable. Which is better? Opening scene. Then we cut to, here we go, and here we go. This is why I really should turn to screenwriting. Even Jeff Ewing, who's a really smart guy, would say this is good. Corey is in an insane asylum. Just like we saw with Michael Myers, right? So Corey has gone crazy. We don't even need to explain why. Obviously, he went crazy because the kid died and he was accused of killing him, and it was all a big mistake. Granted, it was manslaughter, I guess. I mean, I don't know. At some level, I mean, good God, he knocked the door into him. The kid went flying over the railing. But Corey's in the insane asylum. He's locked away in the mental joint. Whatever that is. And then, listen. So then he starts to, obviously, he's not right in the head. And then he meets other people inside of Arkham Asylum in Haddonfield, and they start to make him even more demented. Okay. Right now, is that not, come on, like, comment right now. Is what I just told you better than what David Gordon Green? And I literally thought of that like 5 minutes before we went on the air. It's better. It's better. It's way better. So why am I here on YouTube on a Sunday night not getting paid millions like David Gordon Green just did to come up with his crap script for Halloween Ends? And I'm sitting here and we're running a show and we're discussing it. It's better. Our stuff's better. That shouldn't happen. Not in Hollywood. Otherwise, hire me. I'll rewrite an entire new Halloween. I'll grab Jeff because Jeff's great, and the two of us are going to end up writing something one day. But you tell me, comments, let's go to it. What I just said about Corey, is it better? Is it better than what you saw when you watch Halloween Ends? Corey, more like Bori. Am I right? Jeff, listen, Jeff, am I or am I not right that is better? Corey is in an insane asylum, and that's what turns him into the killer, versus Michael Myers grabs him by the head, and then he's like, you are now imparted with the death skills of Michael Myers. Like, what the are we doing? David Gordon Green, if you missed this the other night, I'm saying it here tonight again. And I was the first to say it, so anyone else who takes credit on this, nah. The second I got out of the first screening of Halloween Ends, I would come out of my office, the screening room there at Universal, and I'd walk out. I'd say, where is David Gordon Green's offices for The Exorcist? I would march down to wherever that was on the lot. I would barge in because, I mean, I'm a Universal exec. I can do whatever I want. And I'd say, David, you are off The Exorcist. It's over. Take your stuff, and we're going to give you a check. You're done. We are now going to hire Parker Finn. That's who we're going to hire. We're not hiring you. You're gone because you don't know what you're doing by issuing Halloween Ends. Another give. Oh, man. Come on now. Yes, I'm going to bask in the globe being correct again because it's right. I'm 100% right. You guys know it. And whether you say, oh, well, he's obsessed. Okay, yes. But the reason I'm obsessed, the reason I say things like Halloween Ends is an affront to the legacy of John Carpenter, what he created 44 years ago. There is no gray area. Halloween Ends should have been Batgirled. David Gordon Green desecrates the mythology of Michael Myers. All of these are fantastic, by the way. These are all dead on. I definitely feel like a recommend on Halloween Ends revokes all film take privileges for minimum 1 year, perhaps forever. These are all good. These are all legit. Like, I have no problem. I will stand behind that. In fact, I'm going to turn that into a poster. I'm going to stick that poster back here. Forget all these things. From now on, that's going to be the poster in the back. Because when movies need to be savaged, that's where we come in. We come in and we just absolutely smash them to bits because they deserve it. I don't know what was worse, giving Allison Corey as a boyfriend or that random cop as an ex-boyfriend. We talked about this the other night. The random cop who looks like he's at least 15 to 20 years older than her. But also, again, back to Corey. We talked about this the other night with Jeff, and Scott Mendelson was here. Scott is defending the film, which I was very hard to sit through. I love Scott, but my God, Jeff knows. When we watched this and we said, Corey, like, what's the appeal? When you look at Corey, like, let's be honest come on, guys, let's just be honest. When you size Corey up, if you saw Corey like out and about, you'd be like, who's that dude? He's like completely forgettable. There's nothing about him that would make Allison go, oh, this guy. Like, there's nothing, okay? Don't tell me like he's not funny. Right? He's mopey and dopey, and he has glass shards in his hand. Like, why is she excited about hooking up with Corey? No one can, because it doesn't work. It doesn't ring true. And it's like the guy has very little charisma. I think as an actor, he's fine, but charisma, when you look at like, you go, oh, well, okay, yeah, Brad Pitt or, Chris Hemsworth. I know I'm talking top, but fine. Somewhere in the middle, Paul Rudd, whatever. You're like, okay, I get it. But with Corey, I'm like, what? Corey? What makes him so exciting? I mean, does she have a thing for guys with glass? jammed into their palms of their hands. Weird. That'd be more interesting to me. That would be cool. Tell me I'm right, Jeff. I am okay with this. Let's do this thing. Okay, but what I said, listen, please, just someone tell me if this is better. One more time, I laid out very quickly. Instead of Corey, killing the kid goes splat, and then next he's like moping around or whatever. I don't even remember what happened after that because I've only watched it once. I just know that it wasn't this. Corey is now in the same mental institution that Michael Myers was in as a kid, right? Because he went away, and Corey has lost it. And then we can figure out a way. I'm just giving you a starting point, and then we can figure out how to get him out. And then Corey's doing killings, and the real Michael Myers is doing killings, and the authorities are trying to figure out, is it Michael or is it this copycat Michael guy who even has a mask, let's say. And so he has very similar, killing traits, like a serial killer. This is better. This is my God. Why am I doing this here in Burbank on a Sunday night? What's a million times better than what we just got from David Gordon Green. But yet David Gordon Green is getting paid millions of dollars to go absolutely destroy The Exorcist. I cannot emphasize enough that Universal needs to pull David Gordon Green off of The Exorcist. It needs to happen like now. Get him off the film. They should have done 2 movies and gotten rid of all the crappy ideas from Kills and Ends. At least, Edward, you're on the same page that Ends is bad. Kills is not great either. I mean, Kills and Ends, between the two of them, David Gordon Green, I'm not going to work with him again in the realm of horror. The fact that he's out there saying things like, oh, well, I don't know if I wanted to work in horror. Well, David, I got a news for you. We don't want you to work in horror. It's nice that you want to come back. It's your choice, but I got news for you. Our choice is you never work in horror again. That's our choice for you, David Gordon Green, that you never work in it again, ever, after these 2 films, back to back. And the fact that Universal thinks that this is acceptable to hand to him, arguably, when you name top horror films of all time, The Exorcist is absolutely, if not the top, it is way, way, way up at that very top, very close to the zenith, right? Very much. So then you hand this guy, after these 2 films, Universal, we have to get, it's always comes back to this, for Netflix, for Universal. I think Warner Brothers does a pretty good job. Disney does a pretty good job, but Universal, and now I'm off of Universal's list. Oh my God. No, but I'm just going to listen, truth. You can't watch Halloween Ends and then go ahead with David Gordon Green as the director of The Exorcist. It's just like an impossibility. You can't do it. You can, but you're gonna destroy the franchise. I am no okay, Edward. I'm saying you have to keep Corey. I'm not saying that I want to keep him. I'm saying, like, if you want to work Corey in, is Corey better in the film that we get, or is Corey better having lost it and going to the Haddonfield Mental Institution, whatever we want to call it, and he's there, and then he runs into not the psychiatrist who had that horrible twist in 2018 and then ended up getting killed by Michael Myers, the evil psychiatrist, a real psychiatrist played by a really cool actress, don't know who, somebody who's good, somebody who's up and coming and would nail that. And then you have these sessions, and you can see that the evil has already taken over Corey because he's lost his mind, because he did something. He seemed like a good kid at the beginning of the movie, but then when he kills the little brat, when it is a brat, then he's like, oh man, I've snapped. I've lost it. Yes, 100%. 100%. Honestly, the parallelism, why'd you make me say that? Makes way more sense than the he was a good guy, such a good guy. Jeff, thank you. It's good. It's very good. It's very, very good. So the Halloween Ends is the last Jedi of horror. I would agree, Ken. People are already defending it for years. You defend a movie. First of all, listen, there's no defending this. Guys, I can't make this more clear. You can't defend Halloween Ends. If you are, you're either one of 2 things. One, being a contrarian, and that's fine if that's what you want to do, and maybe that leads to clicks or views or whatever, because people are like, oh, well, this is interesting. Or 2, you don't know what the hell you're doing. You have 2 options, okay? One, it is you are trying to be a contrarian, which I hope isn't the case, because then what are we doing, right? Or 2, you're not good at this. And I'm sorry, you can't be this wrong about a film. It's so bad. I criticize The Gray Man more than Halloween Ends. It's probably even now. It's really close, but they suffer from the same problem. Okay, the Gray Man suffers from the same exact issue that Halloween Ends does. And you know what it is? Not enough studio involvement in the final product. That is how both of those are tied together. With the Gray Man, it's more of a finish edit thing. Like these edits are terrible. We cannot do this. You got to go back in and recut the film. Okay. In Halloween Ends, it's bigger than that. It is a screenplay issue. So you now have to redo the entire 90 minutes before we get to the end. You can keep that, but everything else has to go. Or you turn Corey into the lunatic at the asylum. You can do something there, but you can't let it get to the point that it did. But what's it both get back to? A studio stepping in and saying, hey, we got to take over a little bit here. This isn't working. And I'm not sure what's going on at some of these studios, but I just can't understand how in a city here with millions of people that want to be in the film business, in the entertainment business, you can't find people, that are talented at recognizing what works and what doesn't work. And if you can't find those people, then you need to get rid of the people and try again. Look outside. Oh, I hate saying outside the box, but look outside. Watch Midnight Movie Talk. Hey, that guy's, look, he just nailed that. He got another thing right. That's what we do here. We set them up, we knock them down over and over and over and over because we know what we're doing. I mean, ultimately, it's really that simple. And I know you guys, oh, that's so egotistical. But when you end up being right more and more and more, trust me, my batting average is very high. Okay, it's a reality of it. And there's people, oh, look, but you're not attacking the batting average. You're attacking me saying that. There's a big difference between those two things. But when you look at the ability to evaluate a film, it takes time. We've said it so many times. It takes honesty. It takes brutality. And it takes just the ability to not care what other people think, which all goes back to honesty and being objective as much as you can within the subjective, right? Be objective within the subjective. And we're going to talk about that in a moment. I've got a really great topic I want to talk about. So this is a dead corpse. I've just brutalized this film, and there's nothing more to say about it. I'm going to come back to it. Let's see here. Corey gets out of the hospital and snaps. He's seen the stories about Michael on TV since he committed the crime, gets out and takes the mantle, somehow draws out Michael. That's better, right? You're using what we said, right? That's better than what we got. It's 100% back. And I know Halloween Kills made the money. I get it. We're not talking about money here, though. And I wish we were. I wish it was that simple. Do filmmakers tend to incline left or right of politics? I don't know. Spoiling nerd, welcome to the channel, by the way. I do not know the answer. I feel like, obviously, out here it's going to be leaning left. But I feel like there also are people who don't lean that far left. But out here you have to pretend to. I admit this openly. I'm very much of a centrist, and I know that's easy to say, but it's true. I mean, that's what allows me to do what I do, is that I don't lean too far to this side or this side, and I try to stay in the middle so that when you come down on these films, you are coming from as even of a platform as you can, and that doesn't happen from a lot of critics, right? They already come in. Use a movie like what's it called? The one, God bless, the redneck one, the Netflix one with the author who's Republican. What the hell's that thing called? I've already forgotten. It's up here on the wall somewhere. Or maybe it was at one time I took it down. You know what I'm talking about, that film. When you go in already ready to attack it because of the politics of the person that's involved, that the story's about, that you're not objective. You're not. I could watch a movie about someone, Adolf Hitler. Okay, we can all agree, the worst human being possibly in the history of planet Earth. But I'm going to say, is the movie well told? Is it, historical value, whatever it is? You're not going to go in and go, well, because it's about this, it's bad. Well, then what are we doing? Okay, so let me get into, this is what I want to get into. This is perfect. This is the perfect transition. And I got so many things to talk about tonight. That's why Sunday night's a big show. This dovetails perfectly into what I want to talk about here tonight. So the other night I'm sitting here and I'm on Twitter, it was last night, and I look and I see this tweet I'm going to pull up right now. Okay. So here's the tweet. By the way, you guys, you're going to like this. It might not be Halloween and it might not be Black Adam yet, but it is a very important topic when we discuss evaluation of films. Okay. So here's the tweet. Let me zoom in. So here's the initial tweet, okay? So this showed up. It said, I'd rather see an overlooked, underused actress win her first Oscar for the role of a lifetime than an already well-decorated actress get her third. But that's just me. This is Dennis Buckley. Okay, look at it. 1,310 likes, 118 retweets, whatever. Okay, so here's my issue with what Dennis says. And this is and I know I'm right again. Okay, so you guys can come in on the comments hard. Come in hot with this, because what I'm about ready to say is true, and it's not something a lot of people want to talk about. When we are picking who is the best at something, in this case, he's talking about Cate Blanchett and Tar. Let me tell you something. I've seen performances over the past many, many, many years in film. And Cate Blanchett's performance in Tar, and we discussed it on that Thursday night when I came out of the theater. I'm like, oh my God, we have to talk about Tar. When you watch Cate Blanchett and Tar, you're watching a performance, maybe not of a lifetime, but I mean, because she's so great, but I mean, it's rare. We don't get the performance we get from a Cate Blanchett every year. We get it. I went back through the past 10 years, and you don't get one for, until you get to probably the Iron Lady. For me, I think that Meryl Streep is fantastic as Margaret Thatcher. So for me, that's where I stopped and said, okay, now we're in a realm where I could at least say we're almost head to head. But everyone else, I would say she beat Cate Blanchett and Tar. So here's the problem I have with a comment like what Dennis has here. And you guys know where I'm going with this. When we are picking who is the best at something, or we're evaluating a film, it's exactly what we just talked about when we talked about, when you look into film, you're not caring about the politics of whoever's involved. Okay. When you watch someone who is great, 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 right? Next level, absolutely awards winning worthy, you do not leave them out of the conversation because they've won before. What the hell are you doing at that point? Because I can't have you vote for my awards group if you're going to do that. I can't have you in Sunset Circle. I can't do it. You can't be in because you're not doing what we're asking you to do, which is to pick the best performance, period. Doesn't matter who it was. Doesn't matter what film it was in. That's it. All that matters is who was the best. So instantly, when you have a mindset like Dennis or whoever else has this mindset, I cannot have you vote in my organization. And frankly, I don't want to have your vote for any organization because you're not picking who's best. You're picking in some other manner, in some other fashion. Can you imagine if sports was run like that? Listen, we have this really great football team, and their quarterback over there is fantastic. He's probably the best I've ever seen. But, he's done it before. And I think that we need to find a new quarterback because I just think that, we need to have someone new. It's just more refreshing. No, we would never do that. Sports, whoever's the best plays. So why are we not doing that for awards? Why are we not doing that for picking the best in something? I'm right. I'm right. And if you don't think I'm right, your mind is wrong. I'm telling you it is. It's an even playing field, and you pick who's best. And right now, I've seen a lot of great performances this year, but Cate Blanchett in Tar is not just a nominee. She is the winner going back 10 years, 20 years. She is a once in a multi-decade performance level in Tar. And to say you want to leave her out because she's won before, I can't deal with that. That mentality is it's a weak mentality. It's such a weak mentality to think like that. How would you feel? I'm going off. How would you feel if you found out that whatever you do in life, the reason you got what you got is because someone felt bad for you or someone thought you were good, but let's elevate them. No, I wouldn't want that. Would you? I don't want that. I want to be proven to be solid, to be good, to be great, whatever that is. I don't want someone handing me something because of whatever you want to pick. It's insanity to me when people like Dennis get on here and say these things and people like it. It's like, listen, who cares if it's Cate Blanchett? If that's the best performance, then that's who you pick. You don't not pick her because she's won before. It's so weak. It's just weak. That's just why I do not hang out on Twitter as much anymore. Because I read stuff like this and it drives me crazy. Because you know why? Let me tell you, I've never told this story and I'm going to tell you again. If you haven't ever heard it. Years ago, I was in a super low spot. Like you wouldn't even recognize the person that's here tonight. Okay. Depressed, out of it. You would be like, who's that? I don't even know who that guy is. I didn't ask for pity at that time. I didn't ask for this situation where, oh, woe is me, my life. No, I didn't do that. You know what I did? I looked in the mirror and I said, you are going to come back. You are going to do something and you are going to fight. And that decision has led me here to where we are tonight, to the things that I have in my life, because I decided to work for them, not to have them handed to me. Everything that I do, I bust my ass for, okay? We started this channel 6 months ago. We finally got to 1,000 subscribers. I didn't start this to get to whatever the number is. I started it to have a communication, an outlet for me, for you, to discuss these films and to be honest and unvarnished about this stuff. And when I see stuff like this, like, let's just have this person come in because we've had too many of this thing. No, it is just you, Dennis. And if it isn't just you, Dennis, don't be like Dennis. It's that simple. I don't even care if this gets clipped. I know I'm right. I'm 100% right. Come in the comments and tell me right now. Come in. Let's go. Bring it. Nemo makes sense. Picking the best actress based on performance is pretty much good. Then if your performance was bad, you shouldn't have been chosen. Well, we're not even talking about good or bad because we're talking about saying if there's all these other performers that are close, But here's the problem: when picking Cate Blanchett, the main point of this is this: she's so great, you cannot leave her out because she's won twice before. You can't have that mindset. And if you do have that mindset, I am removing you from my voting eligibility. You are no longer able to vote in my awards, whatever that is, because that's not how I want to do things. I want people to win because they deserve it. How am I wrong? How am I wrong? I am not. I am not wrong, and that's why I'm here standing in my truth, because I'm 100% right. If the Academy finds Tar cold, yeah, Williams confirmed. Okay, yes, Scott. I know. Yes, I understand. I'm not saying that's a whole different thing. I'm just talking about when we start to say, let's get this person in because of this. No, the person earns the spot. End of discussion. Doesn't even matter. I don't even evaluate films based on what the subject is or who the director is or any of that. When I watch Halloween Ends, I didn't say it's not a good film. It's terrible because of David Gordon Green. I said it's terrible. And then I said, who did this? Oh, it's David Gordon Green. Do you see the difference? I didn't go in saying it's going to be bad because of David Gordon Green. I came out of it saying this is bad. Who made this? Oh, it's David Gordon Green. There's a huge difference between those two things. So be like that. Don't prejudge. Come in after and make the decision. Man, I'm telling you. Real. Michael Jordan would never say, hey, I have too many rings, let Karl Malone finally get one, right? I mean, can you imagine if we did that in sports? The Bulls have won back-to-back-to-back championships, so they can't. Let's just not have them play for a championship this year. I mean, what is someone like? What is the mentality of someone like it is? Like, do they watch sports? What would they even say to what I just said? Would they even know what I'm talking about? I mean, but seriously, again, I want you to come in here and tell me how I'm wrong. Tell me. You can't. No one is, because you can't tell me I'm wrong. I'm 100% right. Okay, we'll come back to that. There, I think I absolutely blew that up. Let's talk about this quickly. We're going to talk about it later in the week. How big is Black Adam going to be? I'm telling you right now, this is setting up to be really good for Warner Brothers. You've got a film that has not had a major blockbuster in the marketplace since, we got to go back to, is it Thor? I mean, okay, it's definitely, there's got to be something in there, but you go back, we haven't had anything. August was a wasteland, right? September was pretty much a wasteland. And Halloween Ends is not shaping up to be big. It's turning out to be fizzling right now. Even, 42 is fine, but I'm just saying it's not a huge opening. We're looking at like 75, 80, 90, 100 million. So Black Adam is coming into the marketplace right now as a film that is really going to benefit from the fact there's been nothing huge in months. So these numbers of 55, 65, they're too low. I'm telling you, 70 or higher on this. If it does not get to 70 or higher, it's going to be a problem with the marketing. It's going to be a problem with the quality of the film. I'm going to see it this week, so I'll let you guys know. But I'm hearing at least is decent. So if Black Adam does not get to, I'm going to put the number at 70. I think it's an underperform because of the fact we've had nothing until Black Adam. It's been months of nothing. So when we look at that, we always talk about having a runway that's clear. Well, that it has that. Black Adam is absolutely clear for takeoff. So you also have a 4-quad film. This is a film that's going to play to families. Families love The Rock. Kids love The Rock. Everybody loves The Rock. So this film should do really well this week. So I think that 70 million is more than fair to say it needs to get to that number. If it pushes past it, that's even better for Warner's. But why can't this get to a Shang-Chi level? Now, I know that's Marvel versus DC, and we can argue that Marvel films open bigger. I think that's obviously been the case. But you have The Rock, a superstar, stepping into the DCEU. That combination pushes the number up. I think we're at 75 or higher. I really do. I hope the movie's good. I'm going to see it this week. Tell me what you think. We'll talk about it later this week, but I'm going to throw that out as an initial forecast, okay? And let's do this. Let's go into open comment time. Before we do that, tonight's Kate, you probably do this by now. How can you miss that crass Man United tonight? Open comment time. Let's get to it here on this Sunday night. Whatever you want to do, we are ready to roll. Let's do it. Rel again. I'm hoping Black Adam crushes it, but do you think the fact that Wakanda Forever comes out 3 weeks later hurts its legs? Yes, but let's just focus on the opening, but we can talk about that after it opens. I think that's going to be an issue, but remember, you always want to be first, not second. So if anything, it's going to hurt Black Panther. It's not, but here's why I think it's not as significant. Because if it was Black Panther first and Black Adam second, then I would say Black Adam's in trouble. But because it's Black Adam, then Black Panther, I would say that it's going to be negligible because Black Panther is set. It is locked. That thing is going to take off in a number that we have not seen since Thor Beyond Thor. I think 180 plus on that, right? Easy. So this benefits from being first and it has enough space, right? It has that just enough of a juke move and a step back to get the shot off and to have a little bit of space to make some cash. I think Warner Brothers knows that. They've marketed it very well. Again, if I don't see 70 on this, it's an underperform. That's the number I've got for it. I'd love to see it open at 70. It got in a lot of theaters this weekend. Renee, welcome to the channel. If not, I think it's been a while since I've seen you, but welcome back. Yeah, and that makes sense because the theater owners need a family film. They had Lyle Lyle Crocodile. Okay, they need something that really draws families in. And The Rock playing a superhero in a PG, I imagine it's 13. It's got to be PG-13, right? I didn't even look at the rating. I know it's not R. So you got families coming in, and you're going to have a big number. Anytime you get to that family inclusion, you're talking about a bigger number. If the Batman had families involved, that number would have pushed way past whatever it was at 130 it opened at. It would have been at 150 or higher minimum. But because it was a movie that was dark, Fincher-esque, serial killer, it brought it down. Black Adam is going to benefit from that 4-quad, even if it's not as big as Batman, obviously. But when you add the families, that's why I'm pushing this at 70, 75. Because as soon as the audience gets bigger, then of course your number's going to go higher. It's pretty easy. The movie reminded me a lot of Aquaman, and the spectacle and the charisma of the lead carry the film. Okay, so Renee, you've seen it? Okay. Let's see. I know people have seen it already. They offered me to see it like last Thursday. I couldn't go. I might end up seeing it on Thursday when it comes out, which would be perfect. We can just roll right into it that night with discussion on it. It's weird. In a weird way, it's like now that gas, to be honest with you, gas is still super ass expensive out here in LA. And it's a pain in the butt to drive across town. Sometimes I'm like, do I really want to, or I'll just go down the street and watch it at Burbank on opening night. It's kind of fun to watch with the crowd. So, I'll let you know as we get closer to the week. And I'll let you know when the next one. Check the community tab for the latest. What do you think of the Babylon trailer? Sharma, I'm going to just say Sharma because I think it's Akal. I wasn't impressed. I don't know if we've discussed this before. We're talking about it now. Not impressed with the Babylon trailer. In fact, it looks very Amsterdam-y to me. That's not good, right? I mean, that Babylon trailer was not what I was expecting. I was not expecting this mad, just kind of like the same kind of thing we saw with Amsterdam. it just looks like this zany screwball-y thing, and I don't know if that's what I wanted out of it. Now, it can't be as bad as Amsterdam, which is truly terrible. But I just have my expectations now dampened. I have it brought down. Let's squeeze it a little lower because that trailer didn't do nearly what I thought it would do for me. I was expecting this grand, almost drama kind of thing, and I go, what is this? What am I watching? So very disappointed with that trailer. So I'm going to pull that, but it is old Hollywood. It is Chazelle. Why not, right? Why wouldn't this be a major awards film, right? Let's go back and see what else. Let me go all the way to the beginning because I missed a whole bunch of stuff. Let's go here. Halloween Ends is one of the most confusing experiences I've ever had watching a movie. The script was baffling. This should have been called Halloween Kills because it killed the franchise. Now you all have seen it. And now you go back and watch my stream from Wednesday night when I absolutely destroyed the film. Go back and watch the stream from Wednesday, and then it'll all make sense to you. Those of you who've now seen Halloween Ends, you're like, oh my God, he was right. Yes, of course I'm right. Been right all night tonight too. Again, you know why? Because it's always about standing in the truth, and the truth is right in front of you most of the time. And most people choose to ignore it. They choose to pretend something else is going on or whatever. The truth of the situation is Halloween Ends is terrible. It's not a good film. And you know that. You all know that. Please don't defend it. Don't come in here and defend it. If you do, you better have something really good to defend it with, because there's no way you're getting over with that. I highly recommend Grim Cuddy on Hulu. I haven't laughed that hard at a horror movie since The Bye Bye Man. Okay, so I'm so glad you brought this up. My niece is in the film. I got a text. I just went Peter Brady. I got a text from my sister, and she's like, hey, guess who's in this Grim Cuddy? I go, what the hell is Grim Cuddy? So now I'm going to have to go watch Grim Cuddy. What kind of name is Grim Cuddy, by the way? I can't wait to watch it. Bye Bye Man. Oh my God. No, I can't wait to see this film now that you say it's good. If it's anything like Fall, then I'll be super excited. Peacock, native reaction to kills, word of mouth, all these things, Supash, right? All these things are the reason that ends. Let's go over them one more time. For those of you just tuning in, here it is. Here's the top four reasons. The top four reasons Halloween Ends failed. Number one, forget the rest. It's bad, like toxically horrible bad. Number two, it's on Peacock. So was Kills. So let's go to the next one. Too many Halloweens bunched together. We had 3 and 4 years. That's too many films of the same type back to back. They should have spaced Ends out. And number 4, Open Up and Smile, because Smile is taking money away from Halloween Ends. It's holding well, and that is a problem when you have a film of a similar genre, the same genre, in the marketplace at the same time. There's your top 4 reasons Halloween Ends is not performing like we expected it to perform, but it all goes back to that. It's really bad. All right, next comment. We've murdered it. Please stop kicking it. It's dead. Milan, Ari Aster, or Eggers for the extra survival will be interesting. Oz Perkins. Oh my God. Great call. Great call. Milan, I completely forgot about Oz Perkins. Thank you for bringing him up. Blackcoat's daughter, but for me, Gretel and Hansel, either way. Right off the bat, you're getting a film that's going to be shot like unreal. Actually, thank you. That is the perfect choice for the remake / sequel that we're looking at here for The Exorcist. Oz Perkins is the guy that would knock that out of the ballpark, take the cover off the ball. It would disintegrate. That would be an absolute grand slam of a pick for a director, Oz Perkins. He makes weird films, artistic films, and he knows how to make them creepy. These are good things to start with when you're making an Exorcist film. Oz Perkins for The Exorcist. Universal, do the right thing. Get rid of David Gordon Green and hire Oz Perkins. If not Oz Perkins, hire Parker Finn. After one film, I'm good. Okay? One of those two. Get rid of David Gordon Green tomorrow. Make it happen tomorrow. I want to read that show up on the feed. David Gordon Green steps down from The Exorcist, now in Oz Perkins. I don't care about the box office, by the way, because they're going to point to Gretel and Hansel didn't do well, Black Coat's Daughter didn't do well. Don't care. We're making an artistic film, and I'd just ask Oz to do one thing. If I'm the studio, I'd say, Oz, I love your work. Can you just try to make it look at me here, just the tiniest little bit more mainstream accessible, just a little bit, just a little twist of that knob. I don't need you to fully crank on it. I need you to twist it a little bit. Then we would be in perfect situation for an Exorcist film with Oz Perkins. That is such a great comment, Milan. Listen, I'm going to say this. I've said it before. We're doing it again. How many times have I said that? Because we do have to keep saying it. We have the smartest viewers, okay? We might not have 10 million people watching, but I can tell you what, for every one that we have for their 5,000 or whatever, they're smarter. You guys are very smart. And that's what the show is. It is about being really drilled down, thinking your thoughts out, and getting the stuff right. And a lot of these shows aren't. I mean, you look at Soups. I can't believe I just remembered. Someone reminded me of the name. Watch a Soups thing. You actively get dumber watching a video. I mean, that's not what we do here on MMT. We strive to make you smarter when it comes to films, right? Not to lessen your intelligence. You can find that elsewhere. Plenty of other places do that. We are going to raise your movie IQ here on MMT. Trademark. Halloween Ends will be the last. Oh, I already did this. Sorry. I already did. I gotta go through here. Oh, he does. Yeah, Corey did get beaten up by teenagers, didn't he? Oh, my God. The kid comes back to life. Yeah, the kid could be resurrected and become Michael Myers, the one who fell off the landing. Oh, my God, Edward. By the way, it's so good to have Edward here tonight. Edward is usually like, I'm going to bed. I'm like, thank you, Edward, for staying up. So hey, Edward, by the way, if you're still up, I don't know if you are. Let's bring you back. Like next Sunday, we'll talk box office. Black Adam, it's perfect. So I'm inviting you back. Someone actually reached out and said, hey, who was Edward? He was good. I go, yeah, Edward's pretty good. I should write Terrifier 3. Here's my idea. Thank you for that to it. Terrifier 3. Here's my problem with Terrifier. Please hear this out. If you haven't seen Terrifier 1 or 2, main criticism, very simple. The filmmaking on both films is schlocky. It's not good. It's very, very low budget. I understand that's what they're trying to do, but I'm telling you, if you take Art the Clown and you put him into an Oz Perkins film, oh my God, can you imagine? You don't even know how badass that would be. Like, it would make Halloween look like not the actual movie Child's Play, but legit Child's Play. It would be like, wow, because you've got this character that's sinister as hell, and then you've got this director who's knows how to create mood and create just the feel, the setting of just this real dark feel to it. And I think that that's what's missing from the Terrifier. And I appreciate what was given, but I feel like we need to get a director in there who, and I know I'm really changing things around, but I'm just telling you, it's weird. Like when I watch films, sometimes I like to extract elements, right, from films and say, I love this. I wish we could take this and put it here and then move this here. And then we'd have like the perfect thing. So I'm picking Oz Perkins from Gretel and Hansel. I don't think Gretel and Hansel is a great film, but it looks like $1 zillion. And it's got a mood and an atmosphere to it that you can't match. And then I bring in Art the Clown, who's creepy AF, right? And then you combine the two, Oz and Terrifier, and now you've got a film that could be a classic film. And I would also take the violence level down. Now, I know, again, if you haven't seen Terrifier, part of the, allure of Terrifier is the fact that it's so gruesome. It is so over the top violent. But in a weird, here's the thing. I'm always, and this is where I'm headed with this. Less is more. So when I watch Terrifier, I understand what you're doing with the graphic violence. I get it. But I feel like Art the Clown is so strong and such a scary, legit scary looking character that you need to tone it down, and you can still make the kill savage, but maybe not quite as brutalizing, right? Because if you've seen Terrifier 2, it's like, okay, not only am I going to kill you, before I kill you, I'm going to throw acid in your face, then I'm going to beat you with a club full of nails like 100 times till your face is obliterated. That is, okay, I know that's why some of you like the Terrifier. I'm just telling you that I would like to see a less is more approach. It goes back to Drive. One of my favorite movies of the past multiple decades is Nicholas Winding Refn's Drive. Okay. But my number one complaint with that film is the elevator stomping scene that Refn went back and shows the foot go through the skull. So when you do that, you cheapen the film and you also don't leave it in the head, which often is way worse, right? When you don't see it, Jaws, you go, whoa, this was worse. Opening scene of Jaws, probably the best of all time. The violence you don't see is more intense than the violence you see. So when I watch Terrifier, I say you have a legit creep ass character, and then you have this over the top violence. I think we tone that down. We bring in Oz Perkins and we buy Terrifier the rights, and we create this super dark, realistic Terrifier versus this kind of supernatural Terrifier. I know I'm messing with the mythology. I'm just saying this is a cool idea. These are the things that I love to, these are the things I want to talk about. This is probably where we have this niche audience, because I talk about things like, how do we change the Terrifier? And the rest of you are like, let's talk about House of Dragon. And I'm like, what? No, I'm talking about Terrifier 2. Sorry, this is what we do. After watching Ends, Paul's in the house. Paul's like listen, Paul and I have sat next to each other in many a movie, along with Jeff. It's like Paul, Jeff, and I. And Scott Menzel, there's many people. But after watching Ends, I ate Activa to get rid of the BS from my Paul is so good. Paul, if I ever need a line, I'm going to Paul. And I'm saying, I need the line. Give me the line, what the character says here. It certainly wouldn't be David Gordon Green. I'm going to Paulie, and I'm going to say, Paul, what's the line? Not you, David. You stay over there. Paul, what's the line here? Versus, son, I hope you find love one day. I think that's the line. Is that like the worst? Like, is that meant to be straight up comedy? Because that everyone just died in the critic screening when that happened. You know, after Corey's gone super dark and Dad's like, I hope you find love, Corey. I'm like, oh shit, what? If you defend this film, you have the smoothest of brains. 33 in the house. Yes. Thank you. 120 million%. Which is not a real number, but it will be for this instance. Okay, hold on. I got to do it. I got to do it again. I got to pull it up because I'm so... Thank you again to ACW for doing this. Like, some people will be like, oh, I'm bugged by this. I'm like, no, I am not. I am framing this right here. I am framing this tweet collage of hate tweets about Halloween Ends. Thank you, ACW. I am no joke. It is going to be framed. I'm going to hang it on the walls right back here at MMT because it's so great. Like, I can go to Fast Signs, right? I think I could just take this picture off my phone, email it to Fast Signs, and they could create a gigantic mural of this. I bet you I can have this ready for the next show. In fact, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to create a poster of this tweet shit show Halloween Ends Sucks thing that ACM did for me, and we will have it in the background of the next show, whatever day we decide to do that. I haven't decided yet. Thank you, ACM. But either way, all of these tweets are 100% accurate. But Halloween Ends is the best of the Halloween films. Like, oh God, yeah, okay, if you say so. People out here defending Halloween Ends. Imagine defending a Halloween film that sees Michael Myers tag team with a nerd to kill people. How this doesn't have 5 million likes is wrong. This is everything that's wrong with Twitter. That is a gold star, 5,000 minimum like tweet, and here it is sitting here at like 25. Come on, tell me I'm right. Of course I am. I don't know why I even bother saying that. Why do I write? Oh my God. Okay, so I got to catch up on the comments. Okay, so we have like, we'll go an extra 10 tonight. An extra 10, just because it's Sunday and I'm in a mood. Oh, just listening, I can see the intensity of Terrifier. Oh my God, no kidding. The bedroom scene in Terrifier is it's so hard to watch. I mean, that's the thing. I think that when you step over the bound, and that's Terrifier 2 steps over the line to where it seems, and I know that's what Art the Clown's doing, but when you're brutalizing someone sadistically to the level that Art the Clown is, and then he's having joy in it, obviously he's sadistic, I get it, but it just makes it very uncomfortable for me. I want my horror to be a little bit more based in a little more reality. You know, Michael Myers, right? He kills him and he stares at him. It's not as intense. I understand that Terrifier is different, but I just have this reaction, and I think you did as well. You know, whenever you watch this, you just go, it's a little bit too much. But I love Art the Clown. Like I said, I just want to see Art the Clown dialed down and then given to an artistic director. And then we're talking about Terrifier 3 is like, oh my God. Or just remake the first Terrifier. Just remake it with Oz Perkins. Or I don't know why I keep forgetting what's his name who directed The Night House. Like, I literally, for whatever reason, I've completely Bruckner. I literally cannot pull his name out of my head. David Bruckner from Night House, from Hellraiser. Give him Terrifier, because I think Bruckner knows how to push the edge. Like, look at Hellraiser. I thought those kills were sadistic, and they are. But Terrifier 2 is like, my God, like, what is left at this point? Like, it's just so. I had to literally fast forward it sometimes. And I understand why people are walking out of the theater or throwing up or whatever, because it is that intense. And I understand that that's what they're doing. Okay. Please, let's make that clear. I get what the point of the splatter gore is with Art the Clown and Terrifier. I'm just telling you that for me, it's a stronger film if we dial him down and you make him more menacing, base him in real world, give him a real world thing. Like, we get to see the origin of Art the Clown, right? A tortured kid. Like, okay, here we go. So we take Corey from Halloween Ends and we recast the exact same Corey in Terrifier, the origin story. And we have Corey now turning into Art the Clown because he was tormented as a kid. So we get this Michael Myers thing going on, right? And then we get Art the Clown, and then Corey's useful because he's actually menacing, and we're like, holy crap, he's scary. Corey's like legit, versus what we get in Halloween Ends. So these are another way we have made a film better. That's all we do here is make films better. Forget Nicole Kidman. We make movies better here on MMT. Screw you, Nicole. We do that. You just watch films. We legit go in under the hood and make movies better. That is our slogan from this night forward. MMT. We make movies better. I am registering that as a trademark. I don't care if AMC has it. Screw you, AMC. Although I still would take you as a sponsor if you want. I mean, we're very niche, but it's okay. I feel like as the show that we are, MMT, we need to get like a niche sponsor. I'm open for that. Like, even more niche than Neon or A20. I mean, don't get me wrong, A24 would be amazing, but we'd have to talk about A24 movies all the time. Something really niche. So please hit me with comments. A niche beverage, something that is very rare. Now, I have something here tonight. This is my Acapora, the beer from Palm Springs. This is not real, but something like this, right? Like a cult beverage would be perfect for MMT. It could even be alcoholic. This isn't a show for kids. We could do that. So like some random beer that has to do with movies. Is there an IPA? We could get them to sign on. Okay, let's see. The bedroom scene. I need Eric to explain the bedroom scene because I'm not watching it all. I don't care. Like, brain. Okay. Well, it's interesting you say that, because that's kind of what I feel about Terrifier 2, is that it almost like it subjects you to stuff that you probably shouldn't watch. And I'm not the guy who says that this art shouldn't exist. I'm just saying that the audience for this is extremely narrow. And when I watch the bedroom scene, when I watch the other scene with the acid and all that, I just go, my God, like this is dehumanizing. Okay, obviously. But it also just isn't really what I want to watch. I have a limit. And I think that Terrifier 2 steps over that line. But for what it is, I get it. That's why I gave it a decent-ish review. But again, it's not really for me, but I love Art the Clown. I'm so conflicted. Like, I'm super conflicted on Terrifier. I'm all over the place on it. I love Art the Clown. Like, he's one of my favorite horror characters maybe ever. But then within that setting of this macabre, just beyond gruesome, I mean, borderline, I mean, triple X rated, not X, triple X rated violence, that it loses its value for me. And I know you're going to say, well, that's the value of it. But no, Art the Clown can have a value beyond that, right? Art the Clown can have a value of horror that doesn't have to be inflicting this level of violence that is just, God, you can't even imagine it. You just can't. I mean, I'm just going to warn you. Like we said, yeah, Nemo, it's super intense. Like, it's just not for everybody at all. Cult Candy. Is that a brand? Okay, I'm going to look into that. That is a good slogan. That's what it is. It's MMT. We make movies better. But we legit, like I said, when we say that in MMT, we don't just make movies better, right? Like, oh yeah, we make. No, we literally go in and decide to make movies better. And you guys now are helping us rewrite films. And I just told you, go back and watch the beginning. How do you make Halloween Ends better? You put Corey in an insane asylum and turn him into Michael Myers. You don't have Michael Myers grab him by the skull and impart the spirit of evil into him. It's just terrible. Oh my God, it's so bad. I almost got up and walked out. But why am I here saying put Corey in an insane asylum and it's a better film? And Universal's got David Gordon Green over there going, no, we're going to have him grab him by the skull and push the spirit of evil into his soul. Like, oh my, it's so bad. It's so horrible. Come on, man. I was right again. Give me how much a record number of likes tonight. It's got to be a record number because everything we have literally, I've drilled down on Halloween Ends sucking, how to make it better, Black Adam a little bit, how to decide who's the best person for an award. And we've also discussed, what else? Terrifier 2, how to make it better. We've really had Sunday Night Show. This has been maybe the best show top to bottom as far as you guys were working in synergy to come up with things that are better. That's what we're doing here. We're not just saying Halloween Ends is great. It's such a good movie. Oh my God, it's so good. You are terrible if you say that. You're a bad person. Oh no, that's gonna be cut out. Eric saying everyone who hates Halloween Ends is terrible. Oh, he's so mean. What a mean person. That's why I don't get on Twitter much anymore. Bunch of babies. The whole alley sequence was just wow. All in this fucking. Oh, I try not to say the F. I know. I'm sorry. It's so the poor woman's night. Also, mashed potatoes. Good God. Yeah. Listen. That the alley sequence. Yeah. It's my God. My God. Chris Gore in the house. Smash the like button. Subscribe. Hey, again, a shout out to Chris Gore for getting us over 1,000. I mean, that's the power of Chris Gore. By the way, Gore, I'm going to see you on Tuesday. We're going to a Nope party. That'll be really fun if I run into Jordan Peele and he has any clue of what I've said about Gordy. Although I did not savage Nope or even Gordy at a level that I did Halloween Kills, or excuse me, Halloween Ends. I swear to God, I'm so glad this movie's over. I don't have to say it again. I savaged that. I savaged the Gray Man. These are films that deserve to be executed, right? But I don't know. Nope is good. I like Nope. I can't wait. You haven't seen Halloween Ends? I would just skip it, Gore. Honestly, you're gonna think it's terrible. I told you about Amsterdam and you watched it. And I was right. Do you think Megan or Knock at the Cabin will be as good as early 2023? Knock at the Cabin's interesting. The problem with that film is my number one problem with Universal 2. They show the whole movie in the trailer. Like, I'm watching this trailer. I hadn't seen it. Okay, so I don't go actively on Twitter, on YouTube, wherever, to watch the trailer because I'm going to see the movie. So the only way I see trailers is if I go to AMC A-List and I watch a film and there it is and I kind of have to watch it. So you're never going to see a trailer reaction. Oh, no, did you? Oh, my God, guys, look at that. Like, that's not what we do. Never, ever. It's never happening. It'll never happen. And that's probably a good thing. There's enough people doing that for whatever reason people watch those. Okay, so the problem is I see the whole movie, so I don't know. Knock at the Cabin looks interesting. It looks like a good M. Night Shyamalan. And then you've got Megan, which, by the way, I've already heard from test audiences, someone who saw it in a test screen said it's not good. And what a surprise. The movie looks like a Child's Play, right? It's like Child's Play. I think Blumhouse, and I didn't get to this tonight, so let's just do it real quick. I was going to ask you this, and since we're on and I forgot to get to it, is Blumhouse overrated? So let's talk about this. Blumhouse is, as you guys know, one of the best distributors when it comes to low budget horror. Jason Blum came in here and has done amazing things in the decade or so he's been doing this as a producer, financing these low budget films and then getting them to outperform at the box office. Let's look at the list of Blumhouse productions and the films that we've had. So we go back 2010, he was just doing some things as a producer. We go into 2013, you get The Purge, obviously a huge hit. Insidious Chapter 2, Dark Skies, I don't remember Dark Skies, no idea what that is. Paranormal Activity, the Mark ones, I think was okay, actually, if I remember correctly. It wasn't bad. The Purge 2, Jezebel, I don't even know what that is. Hold on, what the hell is Jezebel? Did I ever see Jezebel? I never saw Jezebel. No idea what that is. And then I saw a Ouija. It was fine. Whiplash. Hello. I mean, that's the weirdest film, obviously, from them. That's not a horror film. Then you get into Purge. So we're going through all these films. What I'm noticing about Blumhouse as you continue to roll through this, right, is that as the years go on, we're getting not as great a film. Okay, so you go back here and you go Happy Death Day 2. You've got Ma, and you got Black Christmas, Fantasy Island, Invisible Man. Oh man, I could do a whole thing about Invisible Man. Is one of the most overrated films of the past 5-10 years. Easy. It's not a great film. I'm sorry. No way. No way, shape, or form is Invisible Man a great film. Like, that's insane to even say that. Not as bad as Halloween Ends, but it's not a great film. It's not even close. Freaky wasn't bad. But you look at these films and I just start to say, I don't know, man. I feel like we need to have. I hope it is Blumhouse. I've never even said, is it Blumhouse? I'm not. I'm pretty sure it's Blumhouse. I could be totally wrong, so do not drag me over that. I should know how to say his name by now. I've actually met him. Here's the situation. As it's going on with them as a production entity, I'm feeling like the films aren't edgy enough. I feel like we need to get a little more edgy. I think we need to start hiring people within the Blumhouse brand that are going to deliver things like Smile, going to deliver things like, obviously Hellraiser would have been a great thing for them. Would have delivered something, Night House is a really great film. There's some really cool horror films. Ty West, I mean, X. Why is he working with A24? So when you start to look at that, I start to say, I'm just not sure. And especially when I watch Halloween Ends, I really am at a loss for. I'd love Jason to explain to me how he thought Halloween Ends in the version that we got is a good film, is true to Carpenter's vision, is the way that fans really wanted to see this film go out, see the franchise end. And that's what I'd like to know, because I think he's sadly mistaken if he thinks that it is, because as much as people are saying, Halloween Ends isn't that bad, they're kind of BSing, right? You know that. You've seen it. Come on. We know we're right. We know that we are right when we say that Halloween Ends is not a good film. We are 100% in the right here, and I'm telling you, there's no question in my mind that we're right. Orlando, is it Bloom? It is Bloom. Ah, Goliath, I see. This is what I get. It's so funny. Like, I go up and I said, "Hey, Jason, I was at a party for Black Klansman, if I'm not mistaken." And I said, "Hey, Jason, I didn't use his last name, so this is why." Early, yeah, exactly. Sep, thank you. You see, boom, another gold star. I might have said the name wrong, but did I get it right? Old Bloomhouse had more personality, right? Yep. Formula, J Chan, welcome to the channel. 1% production budget, 99% marketing. I would agree with that. What was a really cool film by them was that one. Hold on, where is it? Did I miss it? I thought it was one of their films. The one with God, the dude, it's in his head. See, this is so bad. Like, I've been on too long. We got to end the stream soon. My brain's mush. They did The Gift. Okay, first of all, 2015 was their best year. Let's just zoom in real quickly. 2015 was a great year for them. First of all, I think Unfriended is great. I love Unfriended. I have watched Unfriended so many times. The construction of the original Unfriended is so creepy, and I think what I love most about it is its skeletal production. It is just basic. It's like you're watching the screen and then you see Laura's suicide and you roll into this night with everyone on Skype. I know it's a little dated now, but it really works. Unfriended is so good. I think it's a very, very good film. Okay. And then you go down and you've got The Gift. I have never talked about The Gift. And let me just say, as I click, if you have not, this is your homework tonight as we get ready to wrap here on MMT tonight. Thank you again for joining us. We're not quite done. We're almost there. The Gift, Joel Edgerton directed, wrote it, in it, is a fantastic. When I say, it is a fantastic film. It is dark. I mean, my God, the ending of The Gift is like, oh, wow, you went there. So if you're looking at one of the best Blumhouse films, you're looking at The Gift as one of them. And I know it doesn't traditionally get thrown in with that. I think it also had another studio in there. STX was in on that. I think they helped produce it. But I'm telling you, if you want to, tangentially connect Blumhouse to something. The Gift is a fantastic little, I wouldn't call it a horror, I call it a very dark drama thriller. But it is so good. Jason Bateman's great in it. Rebecca Hall's in it. There's one of the most underrated films of the past decade, The Gift. 2015, a film that really you have to have seen. If you have not watched The Gift, please give yourself that gift. So bad. And watch it. It is fantastic. And that's where we're going to end. I mean, I don't know how it's such a great way to end because it's the perfect thing that we do here. We try to spotlight things that maybe you weren't aware of. And The Gift is absolutely one of those films. Because at MMT, we make movies better. For real. Not like you make them, Nicole. We literally make movies better by changing things in the movies that suck, like Corey in Halloween Ends. Doesn't work. Do not defend Corey. If you do, you're on the wrong side of history. That's it. MMT is out on this Sunday. See you back sometime this week. Check the community tab. Good night to you.